The Golden Goose.
Once upon a time, there was a small cottage in a forest. A mother, father, and their 3 sons lived in the cottage. The 2 older sons were smart. The youngest son wasn't as smart as his brothers, but he always helped other people. The 2 older sons thought that he was stupid for doing so.
Mind your own business.
They made fun of the youngest son. One day, the eldest son went to get some wood. His mother had given him some bread and wine. While he was eating, he heard a strange voice.
I'm hungry. Will you give me some bread, please?
He saw an old dwarf.
No, I only have enough for myself,
The eldest son said. Later, he hurt his hand as he cut down a tree. The eldest son went back home. The next day, the second son went to get some wood. His mother had also made a delicious lunch for him. The second son also met the old dwarf.
Will you give me some wine, please? There's only enough wine for myself.
The second son began to cut down a tree. He hurt his foot as he cut down the tree. The second son went back home.
I will go get some wood,
The youngest son said.
How can you? Even your brothers couldn't. There is no way.
The father said. His brothers laughed at him. Do you really think you can go get wood? Ha ha!
I can do it.
His mother prepared some hard bread and water for him. The youngest son met the old dwarf in the forest.
Will you give me some of your bread, please?
I only have hard bread, but I'll give it to you.
But what's this? He found warm, soft bread and sweet wine. They shared the food together.
If you cut down that old tree, you'll get something,
The dwarf said, and left. The youngest son cut down the old tree.
Oh my!
He was very surprised. There was a golden goose sitting on the stump.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
He held the golden goose in his arms. That night, the youngest son had to stay at an inn. The innkeeper's daughters wanted to have the golden goose as soon as they saw it.
I wish I could have a golden feather like that.
The oldest daughter tried to pluck a feather. Her hand got stuck to the back of the goose. The second daughter wanted to pluck a feather too. She got stuck on her sister's shoulder.
Sisters, what are you doing with the goose?
The youngest daughter's hand got stuck to the second girl's arm. The 3 girls had to sleep next to the goose. The youngest son left the inn holding the goose, so the 3 girls had to follow him. This sight made a priest wonder.
Why are you following him?
The priest grabbed the youngest girl's dress and got stuck to her.
Priest, what's going on here?
A farmer grabbed the priest's clothes and got stuck too. The farmer's wife tried to help, but got stuck to him too. Meanwhile, the king of the land had a big worry. His only daughter never smiled.
Whoever can make the princess smile will marry her,
The king announced to the people of his kingdom. The youngest son heard this too. He went to the castle. At that moment, The princess was looking outside.
Look at those people stuck to each other.
The princess laughed at the people stuck to each other.
Oh, my daughter is finally laughing.
But the king didn't like the youngest son. The king gave him a hard task.
If you want to marry the princess, bring a person who can drink all the wine in the castle.
The youngest son went into the forest. He knew that the old dwarf would help. He met a traveler who was very thirsty.
I'm so thirsty, I feel like I can drink anything.
I will let you drink lots of wine.
The youngest son took him to the castle. The traveler drank all of the wine. The king gave him another hard task.
Bring a person who can eat a mountain of bread.
The youngest son went into the forest again. A thin man was there.
I am always hungry, even when I keep eating.
The thin man grabbed his belly.
I will let you eat as much as you want.
The son took him to the castle. The thin man ate all of the bread. The king gave him a final task.
Bring a boat that floats both on land and sea.
The youngest son went into the forest again. The old dwarf was there.
I had enough bread and wine, thanks to you. I'll give you the boat.
The youngest son proudly came back with the boat. The youngest son had finished all of the king's tasks. The king let the youngest son marry the princess. The youngest son and the princess lived happily ever after.
Farmer,
Farmer,
priest,
priest,
goose,
goose,
dwarf,
dwarf,
drink,
drink,
laugh,
laugh,
wine,
wine,
bread,
bread,